Get ready for the action because Dustin Poirier has spoken. He's breaking down the matchup between Paddy Pimblett and Benoit Saint Denis at UFC 329 and revealing a massive advantage he sees for Paddy Pimblett. We dive deep into how Poirier's insights, stemming from his own history with Saint Denis, suggest a clear path for the younger fighter in this explosive co-main event. You need to hear exactly why Poirier believes Pimblett has the edge in this high-stakes clash. There's a lightweight clash set between Ismail Bonfim and Axel Sola, and we'll tell you everything we know about this massive international return. And to wrap up this massive update, we're keeping your eyes locked on the UFC's summer schedule. Beyond the Abu Dhabi event, we also have major fights lined up, including former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker facing Reinier de Ridder in a main event, and Petr Yan looking to reclaim the bantamweight title. Don't miss a single moment of this incredible summer action. Stay with us because this is your daily roundup of all the biggest UFC and MMA news. Dustin Poirier has identified a significant advantage for Paddy Pimblett in his upcoming co-main event bout against Benoit Saint Denis at UFC 329. The fight is scheduled for July 11 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Poirier, who previously fought Saint Denis at UFC 299, shared his assessment on UFC on Paramount+. Poirier is leaning toward Pimblett's victory, drawing comparisons to a previous fight involving Justin Gaethje. He noted that while both fighters possess high-level skills, he believes Pimblett possesses a superior ability on the feet. Poirier suggested that if Saint Denis had faced Gaethje, Gaethje would have controlled him on the feet, but Pimblett managed to survive and advance. "I've got Paddy," Poirier stated. "I think Paddy probably wins on the feet. Saint Denis is not that slick on the feet. He might have power, and he is not afraid to take chances. He will walk in front of you, get in your face, and put himself in harm's way to land his shots. I just think Paddy is probably a little bit better on the feet." Conversely, Benoit Saint Denis enters the contest as a moderate favorite. Saint Denis is currently on a 4-fight finishing streak, securing stoppage wins against Mauricio Ruffi, Beneil Darius, and most recently Dan Hooker at UFC 325. Dustin Poirier has offered a detailed analysis of the upcoming co-main event at UFC 329 between Paddy Pimblett and Benoit Saint Denis, highlighting a key advantage for Pimblett. The fight is scheduled for July 11 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Poirier, who has prior experience facing Saint Denis, noted that he previously defeated Saint Denis via knockout in round 2 at UFC 299. Drawing comparisons to Pimblett's recent loss to Justin Gaethje at UFC 324, Poirier expressed confidence in Pimblett's victory. "I've got Paddy," Poirier stated on UFC on Paramount+. He suggested that if Saint Denis were to face Gaethje, Gaethje would likely neutralize him on the feet, but Pimblett managed to advance, indicating he possesses a solid chin. Poirier believes Pimblett is likely to win on the feet, arguing that Saint Denis lacks sufficient footwork. He added that Saint Denis may rely on power and a willingness to take risks, suggesting that Pimblett is superior in terms of footwork. Conversely, Benoit Saint Denis enters the bout as a moderate favorite. He is currently on a 4-fight finishing streak, securing stoppage victories over Mauricio Ruffi, Beneil Darius, and most recently Dan Hooker at UFC 325. Edmen Shahbazyan is entering a pivotal moment ahead of UFC Fight Night 278, aiming to prove his experience and maturity have significantly leveled up. The 26-7 MMA, 14-4 UFC veteran is set to face top 5 ranked middleweight Brendan Allen on June 6 at the Meta Apex in Las Vegas, streamed on Paramount+. Shahbazyan, who was once undefeated and viewed as a future champion, has navigated some challenging setbacks, including dropping 3 consecutive fights against elite competition. However, he is now positioned to re-enter the title picture following 3 consecutive victories. Speaking to Channel YouTube, Shahbazyan expressed confidence in his recent development, stating, "I feel like my experience, first of all my maturity in this sport, and just the work I've been putting inside of fight camps or outside of fight camps. Just trying to level up my game, get better, and I think I've made a lot of improvements. I think it's perfect timing. It's going to be good. My experience and my maturity, I think, has leveled up, and I'll show it on June 6. Shahbazyan has been training with the Extreme Couture team, which recently saw Sean Strickland defeat Khamzat Chimaev for the middleweight title at UFC 328, and Francis Ngannou knock out Philippe Lins at MVP MMA 1. Shahbazyan believes that navigating these ups and downs has built the necessary confidence for a challenge like Allen. He added, "I'm 28 years old. I have a lot of experience in the UFC now, and I think it's just right timing right now." The Ultimate Fighting Championship is officially returning to the UAE for a summer event, marking a significant return to the region. The promotion confirmed on Monday that UFC Abu Dhabi is scheduled for July 25 at the Etihad Arena. The event will be streamed exclusively on Paramount+ in the United States. While the full fight card has not been officially announced, reports from MMA Fighting have already confirmed a lightweight matchup between Ismail Bonfim and Axel Sola as part of the card. Recap from the previous promotional visit to Abu Dhabi highlighted several high-profile bouts. The main event featured former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker in a 5-round contest against Reinier de Ridder, who secured a close decision victory after 25 competitive minutes. In the co-main event, Petr Yan positioned himself to reclaim the UFC bantamweight title, defeating Marcus McGee by decision. Following the fight night card, the UFC is slated to return to the Etihad Arena in October for another scheduled event. This return signals a renewed focus on the Middle East as a key venue for major MMA promotions this summer.